Hello, everyone, and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, we find ourselves laboring under the hot, sweltering Arabian sun to witness a match between Fire, our blue Sicilian, and KingstoNe, our red Persian. Now, while the players herd their herdables, look at their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the civilization matchup that we'll be watching today. The Sicilians, I consider them to be an economic powerhouse. They start with extra stone. So if you take a look at the top right of your screen, 300 instead of the usual 2, which allows them to build an extra town center without mining additional stone, and allows them to defend any kind of tower rush with their own towers without mining additional stone right off the bat. Now, one of the cool features of the Sicilian civilization, their town centers are built twice as fast as their opponents. So very cool. Now, militarily, I would say the Sicilians are an armor-forward civ. Now, what do I mean by that? Their knights get extra armor, they take less bonus damage from units, and their sergeant, which is their unique unit, has above-average armor. Now, speaking of the sergeant, their unique unit, it's pretty cool for two reasons. Number one, it's the only unique unit that a civilization can build in feudal. And number two, it can construct the donjon, which is the unique structure of the Sicilians, similar to a Krepost, similar to a Folwark for the Poles, etc., etc. This is a unique unit for the Sicilians, replaces the tower line. And if you can get to Imperial, the Sicilians have one of my favorite, whatever you want to call it, a research and upgrade, a civ feature. If you have a good number of town centers, you can call a crusade. And what that does is each town center spawns 7 sergeants, up to a maximum of 5 town centers, so you get 35 units, basically for not a terrible investment in wood and gold. Now, facing our armor-forward Sicilians, we have the Persians. What can you say about this civilization? They have been around since the very beginning, since the first age of empires. Economically, one of the strongest civilizations in the game. They start with more food and wood. Their town centers, take a look at the bottom of your screen, 4,800 HP. Their town centers have double the HP of the average civilization. Their work rate goes up 10 to 20%, depending on what age you're in. And they have access to every single one of the economic upgrades in this game. I'll repeat that. They work faster. Their town center is sturdier. They start with a bit more food and wood, and they have all the economic upgrades in the game. Now, militarily, their knights do have a small attack bonus against archers. They can replace the gold cost of foot archers with wood, which essentially turns archers into trash units for the Persians, which you might think is, oh, wow, super cool, until you realize they don't actually get arbalests. However, when speaking of Persians and speaking of military, what can you talk about except their pièce de résistance, their unique unit, the War Elephant? Hand to hand, the most powerful, toughest unit in the game. Fully, well, not fully upgraded, but elite. 600 hit points, attack on a 20, bonus damage against structure. You know, whenever I cast Persians, I pray to the old gods and the new that we get to see not siege elephants, war elephants. However, on a 1v1 on a map like Arabia, I don't really expect to see them. They are very expensive and very slow, even if you research the upgrade that makes them, I think, 30% faster. So I can always hope, I can always dream, I can always pray, but very rare to actually see any kind of good quantity of siege. I don't know why I keep calling them siege elephant, war elephants from the Persian player. That being said, let's take a look at the map. Our Persian player in a fairly open space with several mountains to the north and the west of his base. I mean, these stone patches and my favorite berries, the yellow lemons, can give him a natural avenue to wall off his base in the center at the top, but he is completely open. This is a very exposed gold line. Luckily, he has one to the south and one to the west of his base. Both players now going up to feudal, small advantage to our blue Sicilian, whose base I like even less than I like the Persian one. I mean, this is atrocious. This high ground here, he has got to claim it immediately. I see he's walling off at the base of it. May not be a great idea. This is a very bad place for an enemy to occupy. Not only does it give you direct access with a castle or a tower towards, you know, the guts of your base, but it's higher elevation than literally anything surrounding it. Very hard to wall off. Where is his gold? Okay, his gold's in the back. I like that. Better than a Persian player. Stone very far out. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this base. Wisely barricades himself behind a palisade here. Always a good idea when you're playing this game. If your wood lines are super far from your town center, they're not close at all, and your villagers on their retreat to the town center, if they ever come under attack, will die. Always a good idea. Invest, what is this, 12 wood into palisading it off in the beginning of the game. Now, as I was rambling on, we're 10 minutes into the game. Our Persian player and our Sicilian are both in feudal, both getting the exact same upgrades at almost the exact same time. KingstoNe is... okay, so he's deciding to wall off the base, as I said, using the resources as a kind of natural defense. Nothing can break these. Probably the most impenetrable thing in this game is a pile of gold and a pile of stone. Everything else, I think, can get attacked except maybe water. But here comes our Sicilian player. We have 1 spear, 2 scouts. What the hell will he get done with this small, paltry military force? Not much, because a spear immediately comes out for our red Persian player. With the villager is enough to shoo away this super weak feudal unit. And now we've got a mini battle going on here. Our Sicilian player trying to apply pressure, unfortunately running into a wall of Persian spear and scout cavalry. And yeah, both players producing the exact same units. We have 3 scout cavalry for our Persian player, 3 spear, 4 spear, 4 scout for our Sicilian. So 1 extra unit of each, I think probably by virtue of the fact that he reached feudal 30 or so seconds before his opponent. That being said, this wall needs to be completed. Otherwise, what the hell was the point of that? Does not have an opportunity to complete it before 4 Persian scouts, 4 Sicilian scouts rather, jam themselves into his base. These spearmen are going to zone out the Persian scout cavalry. So good pressure here by Fire to start off the game. Gets himself a scout cavalry for his troubles. We'll get a villager for his troubles. Yeah, you have to finish your wall off. You can't leave yourself exposed, especially in an area like this that's full of these narrow alleys and choke points. Your units can very easily get trapped. Now, you can also trap your opponent, but more realistically, your villagers who are hard to path will get trapped. They don't care, though. They are harvesting lemons till the cows come home. Another scout coming in from the north, but I think this is, so far, looks like the end of the aggression from our Sicilian player. He's not really investing too much into his feudal, and now he's trapped with a red spear, which jams him and his horse and kills them both. So has to retreat, does our blue Sicilian, to the safety of his own base. Now, what does he have in his base? Let's take a look. A barracks, a stable, and our Persian player, a barracks, a stable. So very similar builds. He's got to be very careful. He's got to pay attention here. Otherwise, these 2 spearmen are going to completely wipe out. Let's see what red has seen of blue's base. Going to zoom out. So he's seen the entirety of Fire's base. Fire, on the other hand, has seen almost nothing of KingstoNe's base. So early game advantage I give to Fire, just by virtue of the fact that he has scouted. Sorry, I completely apologize. I had to to KingstoNe, not to Fire. Fire has not scouted anything except the front wall portion. That being said, we have another little mini skirmish here in feudal. Villagers and a spearman against spearmen and horses. We know who wins that battle. But here comes the reinforcements. Maybe they'll catch an errant spearman. He's got the height advantage on 2 of them. Gets 1. Oh my god, that spearman did a lot of damage. Oh, and now the Persian scout cav has made its way into the mining camp, but wisely blocks it off. Blue does. Market going down. Okay, so let's take a look at their resources. Are any players planning on fast castling? No. Both players sitting on very low amounts of resources, more food for our Persian, more gold for our Sicilian. And KingstoNe has now walled off his entire base. This is an interesting... I mean, I get it. This makes sense to wall it off here, but what are you really going to do if this portion comes under attack? But I like this. He didn't bite off more than he could chew. This is a good, sizable, manageable chunk of the map. Okay, he deletes a palisade so that his scout can leave, immediately rebuilds it. And he's still harassing with 3 spearmen, 1 dead, 2 dead. The spearman has 4 kills. He's the hero spearman. Our Sicilian player says, keep your walls, keep your palisades. I don't care. I am just going to boom right now. He's sitting at 36 villagers, but our Persian's sitting at 40. And our Sicilian is up to castle. Amazing. So, he has quite an advantage. Our Persian player is still 100 foot away, 60 foot away, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, he should go up any second now. Nope. Invests in 1 final villager before going up to castle, I hope. Otherwise, our blue Sicilian has a huge advantage. Okay, so we're seeing another, or rather, a blacksmith. We'll see what that's for. Finally going up to castle, a full 40 or so seconds behind our Sicilian. So, our Sicilian will have a time advantage, but he's down on villagers. He's got almost no military. I don't expect him to really do anything crazy the second he hits castle. He is banking a good amount of resources, but there's no real advantage for him to press right now. A blacksmith going down for him as well. I don't see any military buildings being built in addition to the stables and the barracks that we saw a few minutes ago. So he will hit castle. He's getting bloodlines. His horses are going to be stronger. Apologies, I always just say horses instead of cavalry. I don't know, I use the terms interchangeably. But our red Persian is building military infrastructure. You love to see it. When he hits, he's getting upgrades for his cavalry. He's getting bloodlines for his cavalry. So I wonder what unit he plans on producing with his extra stable and cavalry upgrades. But let's see. Sicilian is up to castle. What is he going to do with this 40-second time advantage? Immediately plops down a town center. And I want you to watch this. Look how fast. With 5 villagers. Look how fast this thing builds. 25. Look at the speed. 50. He's halfway done in a matter of seconds. Another town center going down for him. Town center going down for our Persian. Okay, so Fire is using his time advantage to build his civilian infrastructure. I still don't see any additional military structures being built out of him. No barracks, archery range, stable. Obviously not a castle because he doesn't have the stone for it. These scout cavalry are not going to do anything. Both players starting to push out knights. Brilliant micro here by Fire to take the high ground. But he's got to be careful. Our Persian player is sitting on 2 stables. And producing knights, getting the attack upgrade for the knights. Husbandry down for Sicilians, so their horses are going to be faster for about 30 seconds until the Persians catch up. And we're looking at a military account that's fairly similar. Our Sicilian player is going for 2 monks. I wonder if this is to collect relics or to convert knights. As I say that, the blue line and triangle show up. So it's obviously to convert the knights. Now we've got 2 monks. So this is enough to shoo away whatever force KingstoNe thinks he wants to attack into here with. The row of houses going down. Walling off the western portion, but where is the infrastructure? Where are the buildings for Fire? Does he think that he has all this time to, you know, just produce villagers? Because that's basically what's happening right now. He's going up to 4 spears. He's sitting on the same 2 knights he had originally. Our Persian player plopping down a 3rd town center. Not sure I agree with the location of this. A little too far for the gold. Way too far for the stone. It's good in the sense that it zones out this area instead of a wall. But all Fire has to do is just go south around these trees and he's fine. So not the biggest fan of the placement of this. That being said, he is now sitting on 9 knights to Fire's 2 and 6 spearmen. Not even pike, spearmen. And let's see how he manages, how he plans on using this advantage in military. For now, always a terrible idea. Why are you trying to convert a scout cavalry? These will snipe your monk with 3 swats of whatever little sword they're holding. Okay, KingstoNe managing to find a little bit of damage here with these knights. So far, 3 kills, 4 kills. And retreating. There's an engagement happening here at the top of the hill. Okay, so Fire claimed the top of the hill. Perfect. This is the best thing he could have done. I mean, second best after building a castle, but claiming this high ground is amazing. Look at the entire low ground surrounding it. The second his units pop out, they have a ground advantage, an elevation advantage to whoever attacks into them. Monk zoning out another knight. Archery range, archery range. Our Persian is planning on getting very aggressive. And finally, Fire starts building military infrastructure. 3 barracks, a siege workshop, a stable that's not producing knights. Okay, so he is running low on gold, which explains why he's going pike heavy. Unless he thinks he's going to be able to counter KingstoNe's movement. But, I mean, when you get to the Elos that these players are at, the 2300s, 2400s, you have to assume that your opponent's micro is pretty decent. So KingstoNe's knights are going to run circles around Fire's pike. Again, trying to convert. I wonder if this is just to scare him away or if he actually does want to oh my god, right anytime I say something, the opposite happens. But yeah, look at the knights converging on the monk to protect him from that scout cavalry. A 4th town center going down for Fire. I think Fire thinks that KingstoNe might be looking to play into the late game, but look at KingstoNe's army. This is 11 knights. He's going up to 5 archers now. I don't know that he's necessarily going into the late game. He's sitting on 67 villagers to the 70 of our Sicilian player, who is going up to 75 villagers. So I'm a little bit worried here for Fire. That being said, the one thing that's making me worry less for him is the fact that KingstoNe is not moving out with his army. So he's building this very powerful army that can completely evade whatever Fire throws at him. There's only 2 units here that are any threat to our Persian. The monks and 2 knights. And of those units, there's 5 of them total against 11 knights and 5 archers. So advantage KingstoNe. But he's not pressing his advantage. The knights are moving forward. Rather, the monks are moving forward. Double whammy on the converting on the pike, but he's got to be careful because we've got the mangoes on the field. And let's see how the players engage here, if they even do. Oh, okay, please. Shooing away by a scout cavalry. I mean, they can turn around with a strong breath. They can knock that scout cavalry down. Horrible engage here for KingstoNe. Low ground into pike. But that's why he built these crossbows, 3 of whom die immediately to the mangonel fire. So let's zoom out. Let's look at our field of battle. This is why I said it was so important for our Sicilian to capture this high ground. I mean, look at the advantage. KingstoNe just can't attack into this. There's nothing he can do right now. Castle finally going down. He's got his own market up. What is he building in the front? The siege workshop. Okay, so he's planning on challenging the siege supremacy of our blue Sicilian. And here you go. He's trying to flank with the knights. 3 monks trying to convert. Gets 1 convert. Yeah, gets 1 convert. And no more. Castle finally up. So, Fire in firm possession of his the front of his base. Has the high ground. The entire center field of battle here is under his control at the moment. That being said, he's got to be careful. You have to micro these knights like your life depended on it, because their life does. If they stop even for 1 second, oh my god, exposed mangonels. One, 2, 4 mangonels for the price of nothing. Wow, what a great catch here by KingstoNe. And that effectively ends the the center control here by our blue Sicilian. He's got 2 pike here. He's building a castle to the east. So he doesn't want any kind of incursion here by a red Persian. Yeah, he's got to move the villagers to the back, other side of the castle so they don't get sniped. I think KingstoNe is respecting our Sicilian players' military a little too much. I think he can very easily engage into this in other areas. Obviously not here, because there's 2 castles. But maybe to the west. There's one house here in the corner stopping an incursion. But look at KingstoNe. Look at this building pattern. He's building a concave of structures here. Another archery range. Okay, so he sees the large quantity of pike, 23 pike. And he says, you know what? That's great. I'm glad you've tied up your supply in pike. But my knights are going to go somewhere else to the right, to the left. And I'm just going to build crossbows. I'm going up to Imperial a minute and a half faster than you. And here we go. Okay, I didn't realize, I didn't notice the palisade wall here. Even worse for our Sicilian player. His entire western flank is completely open. 3 knights going to try. I mean, they can come into here, right? Nope, not anymore. And now advantage in terms of going up is our red Persian. Let's see what he does with his minute and a half Imperial advantage. For now, he's building a castle on a similar high ground. These crossbows have not done much. Actually, haven't done anything. He keeps attacking into the center here. I wonder what he's expecting to find. I don't know what, but he's finding pike and ballistas. So he's got to completely disengage from here. He's up to Imperial. He's getting chemistry. He's getting town watch. He's going to be able to see further, fire harder. Mining camp. He's going to start tiefing Fire's stone here. He's sitting on 24, 25 stone miners to our Sicilian player 0. So I wonder why our Persian is going castle, stone, if not to build more castles. I'm praying that more castles means we're going to see the war elephant. Unfortunately, I see he's getting the cavalier upgrade, which tells me he's planning on going cavaliers or at least cavalry for the foreseeable future. First Treb out. And now fires an Imperial as well. Immediately, what does he do? Builds more villagers. And yes, calls a crusade. So let's follow along with the crusade. I know there's action in the middle, but I want to see the I'm going to zoom out. He has 4 town centers. So he's going to get 28 sergeants in 30 seconds. And then he's going to have an almost 2-to-1 or at least a 1.5-to-1 advantage over KingstoNe in terms of military. Another castle here. What a shock when you have 25 villagers on stone. Okay, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Let's see the sergeants appear. There they are. And look at that armor, base armor of 3. So like I said, overall, in my opinion, a fairly mediocre infantry unit, with the exception that number 1, they can build donjons, and number 2, they have very much above average armor, both melee and pierce. Castle, unfortunately, does fall for our blue Sicilian. And look at this. KingstoNe says, I am here. I am planting my flag. This is my area now. 2 barracks, 4 archery ranges, a bombard cannon, 2 trebs. And what is our Sicilian player doing to respond to this? I mean, he's got his 28 sergeants, 21 here, and I think 7 more will join the field eventually. Now he's getting cavaliers of his own, 14 of them. He's got 25 halbs. Oh my goodness, look at this castle positioning. As I said, this hill is going to be the death of fire if he lets it. But yeah, okay, he's contesting it. He's not letting this go up. And here come the sergeants. 7 pierce, 6 melee armor. I was going to say they're attacking into 2 castle zones, but with that kind of armor, who cares? Okay, get the treb. Okay, finally gets the treb. Mango is still alive for some reason. Okay, so our Sicilian player has cleaned up KingstoNe's entire military presence in the center. Unfortunately for him, too little, too late. 3 castles, one full of villagers, one full of monks, and one full of crossbows. I mean, I'm going to zoom out. This is literally a Venn diagram of death. This castle has this circle, this circle. So there's a triangle here, if you follow my mouse, where this archery range is. If a unit steps into here, all 3 castles are going to fire on it. My god, is that a kill zone if I've ever seen one. Okay, decides to disengage, does our blue Sicilian. But what's he going to do to contest this? I mean, these are great. Now that he knows they're here, though, he's loading up on Trebs. He's got 2 already. I think the time for the mangonels is over. I don't see him being very active with this. He's trying to break into Kingstone's base, but is it too little too late? Kingstone doesn't have too much siege here. He's got 1 Treb. Where's the bombard cannon? I mean, okay, it's working away on this siege workshop. Probably better served using it to attack this castle, because he only has 1 Treb. This is quite the motley assortment of military units here, huh? We have a hand cannon, we have crossbows, we have monks, and we have cavaliers. Quite the grab bag of killing machines. Okay, manages to get a whole bunch of cavaliers who have to retreat. And here we go. Let's watch the carnage unfold. He led with the cavaliers. Oh no, he should have led with the halbs to tank for the cavaliers. And here come the last 7 sergeants from the first crusade. Oh, he is just engaging into 2 castle kill zones. I mean, look at this. Look at the arrows that are firing down. There's still 2 monks here. Yeah, I mean, militarily, fire has the same amount of military, but I don't care if you have 7 pierce armor. If 3 castles are firing down on you, you don't stand a chance in hell. And fire just completely had his military count reset. He is at 7. Okay, not surprised. Yeah, he's got a lot of food and gold, but look at this. So we've got, what is this? 7 cavaliers with 2 coming. This Treb is immediately going to go down. He'll get 1 more at least. I'm not sure he'll get all 3. There's halbs here. There's a castle. There's a villager to repair if he pulls the 2nd villager also. For sure this Treb is going down. This Treb also. But these cavaliers are half dead, so I don't know if he would have gotten the 3rd. That being said, his army's being slaughtered here. His army doesn't exist over here. What the hell is this? This is a very ambitious amount of gold miners for very little gold. Very interesting. That's a lot of villagers. What are we looking at here? 40 gold mining villagers. He is desperate for gold, even though he's sitting on 500. He could have sold food, I guess, but decides instead to GG. I think it's the wise choice. He's seen these 3 gigantic structures in the middle of the map. He lost the high ground here to this castle. He's got 0 stone. He invested it all in town centers. And I think he realizes that he sees the way the wind is shifted. Took a disastrous engage here. Disastrous. His cavaliers tried to come in from the west and died. I mean, he's sitting on the villager advantage of 151, but when you realize 40 of them are right here, yeah, that's not really an advantage, right? What the hell is this? Half of these won't be able to even mine the gold. They'll just be standing, just cannon fodder for these hand cannons, and for this castle, by the way, which reaches all the way towards this gold pile. So, good decision here by Fire to GG. Fantastic game by both players. I love to see the first crusade. Like I said, one of my favorite castle upgrades, research technologies, whatever you want to call it, features. Pumped out 28 sergeants, went on the offensive, but I think he underestimated 3 castles at the time. I think it was 2, but now it's 3. So wisely decides to GG and live to fight another day. And overall, this was a fun game to cast. Part of me really thought, okay, we're seeing 3 castles. Please don't GG. I want Kingstone to start building elephants. Then I looked at Kingstone's gold and realized he's not building any elephants. I mean, you can get this pile here. He could have probably appropriated and colonized this pile here. There's another pile here. Have the players seen this one? Let me just quickly check. So Fire has not seen it. Kingstone has. So as I said, if you've watched my videos, I endlessly harp on scouting and map vision. I mean, look at Fire's vision. He still has not have any indication of the extent or location of Kingstone's base. Does not see the east of the map. Does not see the south of the map. On the other hand, Kingstone, I mean, yeah, he's in a similar position, except he has seen the base and has seen the resources. But question for you as the viewer, do you think Fire would have continued had he seen this additional gold here? Probably wouldn't have sent 40 villagers into Castle Fire to mine gold, right? That being said, like I said, I think he saw the way the game was going, wisely decided to GG. Very fun game. I love this middle base here by Kingstone, just planting his flag and saying, come dislodge me. I'm literally building 3 castles, each on a hill, each on the high ground. Good luck with your no gold and your no map vision of dislodging me anytime soon. And he gets the W. So overall, a very fun game, very fun by both players. Let's take a look at the stats. 61 Cavaliers to 50. Decent APM by both players. Kill count, not super high, but game didn't go on too long. 137 kills by Combi, Kingstone, and 130 kills by our Blue Sicilian Fire. So very similar kill counts, but what's left is really what determines whether you GG or not. And he's got almost nothing left. These 3 trebs, at least 2 of them, in my opinion, are going to die very quick. This castle is on its last legs. One more hit. I mean, if these Cavaliers decided to ignore the trebs and attack the castle, it would die. That's how weak that castle is. So great game by both players. I hope everyone really enjoyed this. This is amazing. I love seeing these kinds of middle position land claim in your face. And what a Venn diagram here. Look at this. It's literally a circle to the top, a circle to the left, and a circle to the right. I wonder if he did this on purpose or if it's just the way the map came out with 3 hills perfectly positioned for someone like me to see a Venn diagram. But like I said, look at this. You try to attack this archery range with a melee unit, and you have 1, 2, 3 castles firing on you. So overall, great game by both. A hard-earned W by Kingstone, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.